I was just going to do a video today on light painting, how to light paint like a large object or motorcycles, my brother-in-law's bike. And I've got it here at the studio, so I thought, well, I've got stuff set up, I'll get a light painting and show it's done. So I'm using your no-go 300, it's only like a cheap light, you can get much nicer. The soft box, but then I've got this soft box which I've modified a bit to fit in there, and then I put a washer on it so that I can screw this inside, so that goes through the washer, just to soften the light a little bit so it ain't so hard, but I'll show the difference. And the other thing I've got is basically like a light wand. I mean, this I made up myself. It's just a strip of LEDs inside, and you just plug it into like a power bank. I'll just keep that in my pocket. And you can see from there, but on this handle I can change the colours and stuff. I just basically strapped it to a piece of wood and then run it. This tube is just a protecting tube for a fluorescent tube, so they're really cheap, maybe $2. This whole thing is probably less than $10. But it's more nice for the background because you can get light trails with it. So I use this more for the background and this more for lighting up the bike, and then more for lighting up the bike. And like I say, I just got a power bank in my pocket. And when I want to cut this light off, I just pull it straight out of my pocket there and it's done. One other thing which is handy but not necessary is like wearing dark clothes. You know, I don't always dress like this, but most of the time. But something dark is better really, because when you're holding this light up and you're getting the light painting over the bike, or you know, whatever light's hitting you is going to light you up as well. That's another reason why I blacked out like the back of this. But yeah, you don't want too much light on you, but if you've got darker clothes it ain't going to show up so bad. But that's another good reason to soften the light a bit. I mean, you can use a flashlight and stand back and really just flash, you know, you could. But I've got this light and I'm going to use this. Yeah, I just wanted to show us what I'm going to do. I've got the camera set up down there, hopefully you can see where that is. And then that's hooked up to the computer, which, oh, and one other thing really you want to have is a remote trigger. And that way you ain't got to touch the camera. I mean, I can do mine from the computer, but normally you're going to be outside doing this. That way, when I press the button, it takes the photo. This is probably going to be too bright because I've got all the lights on. And then hopefully it should show up over there on the screen. Yeah, and if you can see that on there. Yeah, you can see it's way too bright. I've actually got this camera over here, the video screen, so I'm going to start videoing it now. And then I'm just going to try and explain what I'm doing as I'm going. Right, I'm just lining up my camera on the tripod here, and I put the screen on so you can see. One thing, when you do it in the dark, you know, when it's night time, you're not going to be able to clearly see like that. So what I suggest you do is, so really, like I say, if you're at night, just concentrate on one little sticker or something. Just make sure you get that perfectly aligned. As well, if you've got vibration reduction or anything like that on your camera, like turn it off if it's on a tripod. So I'm going to turn off my autofocus, my vibration control, and then the other one's fine. So yeah, you can just about see the bike. Let's zoom this out and see. But yeah, that's you'd have to get your focus. I mean, you can try for maybe better to put the light over near it and just focus on one thing, and then that way you know you're definitely in focus. Yeah, I'm just hoping if you watch this, watching this, you have like a rough idea of the camera settings and stuff. I'll show mine, and they are down the bottom here, but really you could do with learning camera settings. You know, you want a few seconds, so you just want to run. You just want to take this down till it's, I'm going to say 8 seconds. ISO, you want it as low as it will go really for the best picture, so 64. And then your f-stops, I've got the motorcycle here and I'm focused just at the front of it here, so really, and it's at an angle, so I need a little bit of f-stops, and the f-stops will help cut any other light out. I mean, if you're outside, you're best just to turn the lights off, which I'm going to do now. I'm going to take one photo and just make sure that nothing's going to show up in that photo, or very little at least, because I do have one window out there. But no, you can see now, nothing come up in that photo. So I'm going to take one more. I'm going to turn this light on for this one. Yeah, and you can see that's after 8 seconds. And that's a good thing to do really, just to get one photo and just get the whole scene a little bit really, so you've got something to start to work with. So now, like, the camera can't move. If you're happy with that position, what you're seeing there, so let me just go back to that picture. If you're happy with the position, I mean, this ain't the best position, I would get more towards the front and lower, but for this video I'm just showing from here because it's a nice full side view. But once you're happy with that position, and now you can start, you know, light painting the bike, so that's what I'm going to show next. Okay, so I'm going to take one quick photo now just to make sure that TV screen's not affecting it too much on the TV here. And you can see that's completely black, which is what you want really. So my settings are shown on the screen there. It's 8 seconds, shutter speed, 64 ISO, and a 7.1 f-stops. So I'm just going to come from a few different angles of this. So first one, I'm just going to start from the top here. Make sure I've got one for the bike. Nice. You see how it comes out. Probably be a little bit dark at the bottom. Don't matter if your light gets in the photo, because that's going to be removed in Photoshop. I'm going to come on alright at the top here. In focus, make sure it's in focus. Just wanted to show roughly some of the angles, because you don't want to just hit it from straight on. So if I just stand over here by the camera, and just point it over there, probably going to be dark, but I'll just show. Not only that, I'll probably end up with shadow on the back wall as well in this, but you know what you can see. It's not lit up. If you've got someone with you, you could say to them to look through the camera and then see, make sure when the light's like hitting these, you know, like at a certain point the light's going to reflect off of them. And then that way they can see it through the camera. I mean, come on my own, I can't do that, but see what that did. So it'll probably give a nice side there. Which up the top there is lost. I'll just take that from another photo, so it's no problem. Do it with this blue. So with this, I mean, you can do anything. I'm just going to wave this back and forward like this. And this could be done, like, you know, video cut off back there, so I'm not sure. But what that I was just showing the difference between, you know, like these LEDs, that's the fast flashing different colour one. Most people are having a seizure. But yeah, you just want to get as many pictures as you think is necessary, really. Just make sure, go through your photos, make sure everything is lit up, because you can't go back and do it again once you move the tripod. Okay, I think I've got most of the photos that I want there, so I'm going to take them indoors and get them into Photoshop. So yeah, that's roughly how, you know, what to do with the lights. Obviously you can hit it with any light and come from any angle and take as many photos as you want, but I must have maybe 30 or 40 there, so we'll see how that goes. Thank you for watching the first half, and I'll make another video of the Photoshop editing process and how you would come up with the finished light painting. So again, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll come out with more videos as soon as possible.